Amber Hagerman was just 9 years old, a bright and lively girl with a future full of promise. She lived in Arlington, Texas, where she was known for her infectious smile and boundless energy. Amber's life was filled with the simple joys of childhood, playing with friends, riding her bike, and spending time with her family. But on January 13th, 1996, everything changed. It was a typical Saturday afternoon when Amber decided to take a bike ride with her younger brother, Ricky, near their grandparents' house. The sky was clear, the air was crisp, and the neighborhood was alive with the sounds of children playing. As the siblings pedaled their bikes, they were unaware that danger lurked nearby. Amber rode ahead, turning into an abandoned grocery store parking lot, while Ricky returned home. Moments later, a black pickup truck sped into the lot, and in an instant, Amber was gone. The news of Amber's abduction spread like wildfire, shaking the tight-knit community to its core. Neighbors, friends, and strangers all rallied together, searching tirelessly for the missing girl. They combed through fields, knocked on doors, and plastered Amber's face on every available surface. Despite their efforts, days turned into weeks with no sign of Amber. The fear and uncertainty weighed heavily on everyone, but none more so than Amber's family. They clung to hope, praying for her safe return, even as the days grew darker. Little did they know, Amber's tragic disappearance would spark a movement that would change the way communities respond to child abductions forever. The moment Amber was abducted was seared into the memories of those who witnessed it. It was a bright, sunny afternoon, and the neighborhood was buzzing with activity. Children played outside, and adults went about their daily routines, unaware of the horror that was about to unfold. Amber had just turned into the abandoned grocery store parking lot, a familiar place where she and her friends often rode their bikes. As she pedaled around, a black pickup truck suddenly appeared, its presence both unexpected and menacing. The truck's driver, a man in his 20s or 30s, with dark hair and a mustache, quickly exited the vehicle and grabbed Amber. Witnesses later described the scene with chilling clarity. One witness, a 78-year-old retiree named Jim Kevill, was standing in his backyard, just across the street from the parking lot. He saw the man force Amber into the truck and heard her scream. He grabbed her with one arm, and she was kicking and screaming, Jim recalled, his voice trembling with emotion. It happened so fast. I tried to run to help, but by the time I got there, they were gone. Another witness, a young mother named Maria, was driving by when she saw the commotion. She too heard Amber's desperate cries and saw the truck speed away. It was like a nightmare, Maria said. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. One moment she was there and the next she was gone. Despite the immediate calls to 911 and the detailed descriptions provided by the witnesses, the black pickup truck vanished without a trace. The police set up roadblocks and conducted extensive searches, but it was as if the vehicle had disappeared into thin air. The community was left in a state of shock and disbelief. How could such a brazen act happen in broad daylight, in a place where everyone felt safe? The fear and uncertainty were palpable, as parents held their children a little tighter, and neighbors looked at each other with newfound wariness. As the hours turned into days, the sense of urgency grew. Flyers with Amber's picture were distributed far and wide, and the media coverage intensified. Yet, despite the relentless efforts of law enforcement and the community, there was no sign of Amber or her abductor. The heart-wrenching reality began to sink in. Amber was gone, and the chances of finding her alive were diminishing with each passing day. Little did anyone know, this tragic event would soon lead to a groundbreaking change in how child abductions were handled, forever altering the landscape of community response and law enforcement cooperation. The disappearance of Amber Hagerman sent shockwaves through the Arlington community. The days following her abduction were filled with a frantic and desperate search, driven by a collective determination to find her and bring her home safely. Police officers, search and rescue teams, and volunteers from all walks of life came together, combing through every inch of the neighborhood and surrounding areas. The streets were lined with posters bearing Amber's smiling face, a haunting reminder of the innocence that had been so cruelly taken away. Local businesses donated supplies, and volunteers worked around the clock, fueled by hope and an unyielding resolve. Candlelight vigils were held, with hundreds of people gathering to pray for Amber's safe return. The community's unity in the face of such tragedy was both heartwarming and heartbreaking. Amber's family was at the center of this whirlwind of activity. Her mother, Donna, was a pillar of strength, despite the unimaginable pain she was enduring. She pleaded with the public for any information that could lead to her daughter's return. "Please help us find Amber," she implored, her voice breaking with emotion. "We need her home." The media played a crucial role in keeping Amber's story in the public eye. News stations broadcast continuous updates, and reporters interviewed anyone who might have seen or heard something. The weight of the situation was felt nationwide, as people from all corners of the country sent in tips and messages of support. Despite the tireless efforts, the search yielded no significant leads. The black pickup truck remained elusive, and the days turned into a suffocating blur of fear and uncertainty. Amber's family clung to each other, finding solace in their shared grief and the unwavering support of their community. As the days passed, hope began to wane, but the search continued. The community refused to give up, holding on to the belief that Amber would be found. It was this relentless spirit that would eventually pave the way for a revolutionary change in how child abductions were handled. 4 days after Amber Hagerman's abduction, the community's worst fears were realized. It was a cold and overcast morning when a passerby made a grim discovery in a creek bed just a few miles from where Amber was last seen. The lifeless body of the little girl, who had captured the hearts of so many, lay partially submerged in the murky waters. The news spread like wildfire, bringing a wave of sorrow and despair that washed over the entire community. Amber's family was devastated. The hope that had sustained them through the agonizing days of the search was shattered in an instant. Donna Hagerman, Amber's mother, was inconsolable. Her cries echoed the heartache of every parent who had ever feared for their child's safety. The community, which had come together in solidarity and hope, now mourned collectively. Candlelight vigils turned from prayers for Amber's safe return to memorials in her honor. The impact of Amber's tragic end was profound. It left a scar on the heart of Arlington and resonated far beyond its borders. The outpouring of grief was matched only by the anger and frustration that her abductor remained at large. The police continued their investigation with renewed urgency, but the trail was cold and leads were scarce. The black pickup truck, a crucial piece of the puzzle, had vanished without a trace. Despite the overwhelming sorrow, Amber's story was not destined to end in darkness. Her legacy would spark a movement that would save countless lives in the years to come. The pain of her loss became the catalyst for a groundbreaking change in how child abductions were addressed. As the community grieved, they also began to mobilize, determined to ensure that no other family would have to endure the same heartache. As the community mourned the loss of young Amber Hagerman, the police faced an uphill battle in their quest for justice. The investigation into her abduction and murder was riddled with challenges and dead ends. Detectives worked tirelessly, following every lead and scrutinizing every potential suspect. The black pickup truck seen at the scene of Amber's abduction was a crucial piece of evidence, yet it seemed to have vanished without a trace. Despite numerous tips from the public, no solid leads emerged that could pinpoint the vehicle or its driver. The investigation was further hampered by the lack of physical evidence. Forensic teams combed the creek bed where Amber's body was found, but the murky waters and the passage of time had washed away potential clues. The community's initial outpouring of support and information was invaluable, but as days turned into weeks, the trail grew colder. One of the most frustrating aspects for investigators was the absence of any clear motive. Amber was a beloved child with no known enemies. The randomness of the crime made it all the more difficult to solve. The police interviewed known offenders in the area, hoping to find a connection, but each interrogation ended in disappointment. Despite these setbacks, the investigators refused to give up. They held press conferences, urging anyone with information to come forward. They worked closely with Amber's family, offering them support, while also hoping that some small detail might emerge that could crack the case wide open. The frustration and heartache of the investigators mirrored that of the community. They faced mounting pressure and an overwhelming sense of responsibility to bring Amber's killer to justice. Yet, despite their best efforts, the case remained unsolved. As the days turned into months, the hope of finding Amber's killer began to wane. But the determination of the police and the community never faltered. Amber's story would not be forgotten, and the search for her killer would continue. In the wake of Amber Hagerman's tragic loss, the pain of the community was palpable. But out of this sorrow, a beacon of hope began to emerge. As the investigation stalled, Amber's family and the residents of Arlington, Texas, channeled their grief into action. They refused to let Amber's death be in vain. One of the most significant outcomes of their efforts was the inception of the Amber Alert system. Named in honor of Amber, the Amber Alert stands for America's Missing Broadcast Emergency Response. The idea was simple, yet revolutionary: to quickly disseminate information about a child abduction to the public, leveraging the power of media and technology to mobilize communities and law enforcement in the crucial first hours. The birth of the Amber Alert system was driven by the relentless advocacy of Amber's parents and local broadcasters. They worked tirelessly with law enforcement and legislators to create a system that could prevent other families from enduring the same heartbreak. The first Amber Alert was issued in 1996, and since then, the system has evolved and expanded. Today, it's a nationwide initiative that has saved over 1,000 children from the clutches of abductors. When an Amber Alert is issued, it activates an urgent bulletin across various platforms: radio, television, highway signs, and even mobile phones, ensuring that millions of eyes and ears are on the lookout for the missing child. The impact of the Amber Alert system is profound. It has transformed how child abductions are handled, providing a rapid response mechanism that increases the chances of a safe recovery. Each alert serves as a reminder of Amber's legacy and the community's commitment to protecting its children. Although Amber's killer remains at large, her story has sparked a movement that continues to save lives and bring hope to countless families. Amber Hagerman's memory lives on through every Amber Alert, a symbol of resilience and the enduring fight for justice. The continued significance of the Amber Alert cannot be overstated. It stands as a testament to how one tragic event can lead to monumental change. Amber Hagerman's story, though heartbreakingly unresolved, has saved countless lives. Since its inception, the Amber Alert system has become a critical tool in the fight against child abductions, ensuring swift action and community involvement at the first sign of danger. Amber's legacy lives on in every successful recovery, in every child brought back home. Her memory serves as a constant reminder of the importance of vigilance and the power of collective action. Each alert issued is not just a call for help, but a tribute to Amber and the enduring impact of her story. Despite the sorrow that surrounds Amber's case, the Amber Alert system offers a beacon of hope. It proves that even in the face of unimaginable loss, we can create something powerful and life-saving. Amber's story is a poignant reminder of our shared responsibility to protect the most vulnerable among us. As we continue to honor Amber's memory, we also continue the fight to bring her family the closure they deserve. The search for justice in Amber Hagerman's case is ongoing, and her legacy will forever inspire us to never give up hope. Despite the creation of the Amber Alert system and the countless lives it has saved, Amber Hagerman's case remains shrouded in mystery. Over 2 decades have passed since that fateful day in 1996, yet the identity of Amber's abductor and killer is still unknown. The Arlington Police Department continues to receive tips and leads, but none have led to a breakthrough. Advancements in forensic technology have brought renewed hope. DNA evidence is periodically re-examined with the latest techniques, and investigators remain hopeful that one day, a match will be found. However, the case is complicated by the passage of time and the scarcity of concrete evidence. Eyewitnesses from the neighborhood reported seeing a man driving a dark-colored pickup truck, but the description was vague and has not led to any significant suspects. The community remains haunted by the memory of Amber's abduction and the chilling fact that her killer has never been brought to justice. Every year, on the anniversary of Amber's disappearance, her family holds a vigil to keep her memory alive, and to remind the public that the search for her killer is far from over. The pain of not knowing what happened to Amber continues to weigh heavily on her family and the community. New investigative techniques, such as genealogy databases and advanced profiling, offer a glimmer of hope. Law enforcement agencies across the nation are more connected than ever, sharing information and resources in the ongoing quest for answers. While Amber's case remains unsolved, it serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of vigilance and community involvement. The Amber Alert system, born from this tragedy, continues to be a beacon of hope, ensuring that no other family has to endure the same heartache. Amber Hagerman's story is a testament to the enduring human spirit and the relentless pursuit of justice. As we look to the future, we hold on to the hope that one day, the mystery surrounding her case will be solved, and her family will finally find the closure they deserve. For more than 2 decades, Amber Hagerman's family has lived with a pain that never fades. The unsolved nature of her case casts a long shadow over their lives, a constant reminder of the justice that remains elusive. Despite the passage of time, Amber's mother, Donna Williams, and her brother Ricky have never given up their search for answers. They've turned their grief into a relentless pursuit of justice, working closely with law enforcement and keeping Amber's story in the public eye. The Arlington community, too, has been profoundly affected. Every year, on the anniversary of Amber's disappearance, neighbors, friends, and strangers gather for a candlelight vigil. It's a poignant reminder that while time moves on, the collective memory of Amber's abduction remains vivid. The community's solidarity offers a semblance of comfort to Amber's family, reinforcing that they are not alone in their quest for justice. Local businesses have also played a part, sponsoring events and raising funds for continued investigative efforts. Schools in the area teach children about the Amber Alert system, ensuring that Amber's legacy is one of awareness and action. Amber's family often speaks about the heartache of unanswered questions, but they also emphasize the importance of hope. They believe that advances in technology and the power of community might one day bring the answers they seek. The resilience of Amber's family and the support of the Arlington community exemplify the enduring human spirit in the face of tragedy. As we reflect on Amber Hagerman's story, let's remember the importance of vigilance and community involvement. Together we can honor her memory and continue the fight for justice. As we come to the close of Amber Hagerman's story, we're left with a haunting question. Will we ever know the truth? Amber's case remains one of the most poignant reminders of the fragility of life and the importance of community vigilance. Despite the decades that have passed, the quest for justice continues. Amber's legacy has undeniably shaped child safety protocols and heightened awareness about abduction cases. The Amber Alert system stands as a testament to her lasting impact, saving countless lives and providing a glimmer of hope to families in their darkest hours. Yet, the shadow of her unsolved case lingers, a stark reminder of the work that remains. In the face of unanswered questions, Amber's family and the Arlington community have shown extraordinary resilience and determination. They hold on to hope, fueled by advances in technology and the unwavering support of those who remember Amber's story. Every year, new efforts are made to shed light on the mystery, to find the person responsible, and to bring closure to a family that has endured so much. As we reflect on Amber's life and the profound changes her story has prompted, let's renew our commitment to vigilance and community action. Each Amber Alert is a call to arms, a plea to keep our eyes open and our hearts engaged in the fight for justice. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay vigilant, stay hopeful, and remember that together, we can make a difference. Follow us for more true crime stories that matter.